G'day everybody, it's the 21st of March. As you can see, it is 9:23 where I am and 12:23 a.m. in Jerusalem. Okay, where are we at? As I scroll through my feed, I see Mike's done a new one, and varying people overnight have done videos. We've had the head of the year pass, and we've had Mike's 4 days later for Lazarus passing. So basically those dates have passed, and everybody now is starting to look toward April. However, I have done so many studies on Esther, it is beyond me why people are not seeing the reversal of feasts in Esther. We know that we are waiting for the Jews' feasts to be turned to mourning. And we know that that will definitively happen at the Rapture. That will change the world forever. So, we then look at the book of Esther, and we see that Purim is associated with mourning turned into joy and feast days again. If you have a look at Jared over at Supernatural by Design, his video last night clearly showed us that the book of Ruth and the book of Esther are very, very significant biblical books. In my view, the book of Esther outlines the entire end times timeline. In fact, it pretty much mirrors the entire Bible, if you ask me. It shows redemption through Jesus, salvation through our King. It shows the Jews being surrounded, God miraculously saving them from destruction. The book is deep, let me tell you. Garrett touched on some stuff as to where he thinks we could be the other day. Repo Man's done some study. Brother Patrick has recently looked at the eclipses and noticed that they spell I am coming. If you look at the first letter of the states that the eclipse crossed over in 2017 and the upcoming one in 2024, April 8th. The first letter of the states in order of the passage of the eclipse across America, used as I guess it's an acronym. They spell something. I am coming. That's a pretty amazing video from Patrick. But I'd like to encourage everybody to continue to watch this next 24-hour period very, very closely, because we are expecting the Jews' feasts to be turned into mourning. However, Esther suggests that after the armies gather around Israel and then Israel is miraculously saved, as we see the typology of that in Esther, that establishes Purim as a time when their mourning is turned back to feasts and joy again. And that isn't currently what we're expecting. So in order for that to happen, first their feasts must have been turned into mourning. That's not where they are at the moment. So were the rapture to do that today, the very first feast after the 7-year tribulation, and Esther makes it clear that Purim is going to be celebrated forever. So the very first feast after the Great Tribulation when God's made everything right again, would be when Purim and the feasts are turned back to joy and celebration again, from their feasts having been turned into mourning during this 7-year tribulation, where God turns his attention back to Israel. So, for me, I've always believed that we should have a pre-Purim rapture. For that to happen, that means that right now is the highest watch period of my life. So, I am thinking we have until the seconds before Purim begins on the 23rd. So from now, sunset tonight will mark the beginning of the 22nd in Israel, and sunset the next day will be the 23rd. So Purim begins on the 23rd, so I'm thinking the seconds before sunset, so that it has still happened before Purim. So will anything happen? I have no idea. But today culminates into my highest watch time ever, and I certainly will be watching as we head towards the beginning of Purim on the 23rd and the 24th. We have the full moon and an eclipse after that on the 25th. That is in itself very interesting. And then we have another eclipse on April 8th, another one in September. We have the solar eclipse on the 8th, and on the 25th it's a lunar eclipse, and that's pretty much seen nearly worldwide, apart from Israel. We even get that down here in Tasmania. Only a little bit, but the moon does have a little small bite taken out of it for us down here. So varying degrees of eclipsing of the moon on the 25th, but we see that even all the way down here in little old Tasmania. So I'm just encouraging everybody with all the hype about the eclipse coming up on April 8th and varying things that are happening worldwide. Don't forget the heifers, the red heifers, are probably going to be sacrificed before the end of this month. So a rapture prior to that would be very appropriate. And my best guess, in order so that their feasts can be turned into mourning, is just before Purim, so that after the tribulation, Purim is re-established as it says it should be biblically, which is when their mourning is turned into joy and feasts. Keep looking up, guys. Tonight could be very significant, right through to the seconds before the beginning of Purim on the 23rd in Israel.